Kiev. I'm trying not to wake up Andre, he's sleeping over there. I'm gonna talk about camera accessories for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Are you filming this morning?
I'm going out now for the sunset, or sunrise, I mean.
Oh my god, with a lamp on your head as well.
Probably not. I'm gonna be a bit more discreet, bye-bye. I'm actually staying in a pretty sweet hotel room. It's like a design hotel. You can probably sense that from the art and stuff. So I'm just gonna go out and see what Kiev has to offer. So I got a tip that there's an abandoned bridge. I thought I would check that out. I think we got a shady freaking photographer. They're basically making out, almost fucking, and now they're taking pictures. That's some shady stuff. Going out, taking your model out, making out, and doing all kinds of weird stuff. And then you shoot some pictures. Females, stay away from those photographers. So we've been shooting this commercial, right, for the last couple of days. We've not been here, we've been in a different small town. I'll tell you more about that later though, but now the accessories, right? One of the first things that you should think about is probably a microphone. This is the professional way to record things. I have this big blimp here, which is used for windshield. This has actually worked really well on my pocket rig. In here I have a Sennheiser 416. Looks like that. It's a nice shotgun mic. And for that you also need a cable to make it work with the pocket cinema camera. This is a mini XLR on this end, and it's a big XLR on this end. You just plug that into this, but this has a handle and everything, so this is a really good microphone setup. If you use something like this, you're gonna get all the wind out of the audio, but you also have an advantage of this capturing a bit of the puffing and all that as well, but it's also because of the handle, it's really sturdy, and you can put this dead cat on it, which is very furry, and you can pet it if you want. But this is not the only mic I have. On me I have a Sanken Cos, it's a lav that's fitted into my Lectrosonics PDR. This is the Lectrosonics PDR. This is a great recorder, but it's also good to have a mic that goes straight into the camera. This one goes straight into the camera, but it's kind of big, so when I want a smaller setup, when I'm vlogging for instance on the pocket cinema camera, I won't be using this big guy over here. I'll be using a smaller setup, and that's where the Sanken Cos with an XLR cable comes in. So this is the same mic that I'm recording this with into the Lectrosonics, but it has an XLR cable. So you just plug this into the XLR input of the pocket camera, and then you have a wired one that you don't have to sync. Perfect for vlogging, and if you hate syncing. Those are the sound essentials to me. If you don't have that, then you don't have the professional level of audio that you should have if you have a camera that records on the professional level of the pocket camera. Now let's just move on, because I think people think it's weird that I'm standing talking to a tree. Check this place out though. Big lady. Another essential is to have a battery solution. Now there are quite a few that have come out. For instance, Blackmagic released a battery grip, which I think is a decent solution. One of my favorite ones is this one. This is an IDX battery. It's a tiny one. There's also a SWIT battery that's a little bit bigger. I don't know if I brought that. Let me check. I actually did. So it's these guys. Both of them have D-tap. So you just plug a D-tap cable in. You can get those from Blackmagic. They are pretty great. But what's so special about these is that it's Sony BP batteries, and those you can mount to certain monitors. So you can have a monitor plate or battery plate for a monitor that you can mount these to. So you have these batteries that will power both your monitor and your Blackmagic Pocket cinema camera. I think that's a pretty sweet solution. This one will last for pretty much a whole day of shooting, 10 days of shooting, or 10 hours of shooting, I mean. This one, not that much, but almost a whole day. Pretty sweet. That kind of brings me to the monitor solution. This here is the battery plate. For me, it's crucial to have a good battery plate with BP batteries or the Sony BP series batteries, just because of the detail. But it's also such a small, tiny monitor. This is Ikan VL35. It's not a great monitor by any means, but it's good enough and it's tiny. That's what you're after here. You want a tiny monitor that really can do a lot of stuff for you. And I mean, powering by battery, that's one of those stuff that I'm talking about. But this one can also mount a loop to it. These two together are a dream. You have a loop that you mount onto this one, and then this doesn't stick that well to this, so it's not the optimal solution, but it is the best one, most convenient one that I've found. This red one doesn't come with it. It came from a different one that I had before. The diopter also is a bit flimsy, so I taped it. You should also probably put some Velcro onto it so you can snap it somewhere, since it falls off so easily. But what is it that you need? You need to be able to see in sunlight. This does that job. I also have SmallRig like mounting accessories to it. So this just mounts on the top of my camera, and then I can, whoa, that's how easy it comes off. But you just tilt this up and down, and you put the battery on, you run a cable to the Pocket Cinema camera. This is a solution that I use. It's my main monitoring unit. I don't use the screen on the camera because it's too big to be holding in front of you. It's an essential thing. I think that you need to get it in the tiniest form that you can get, and I think that any one would work, but I think that it's a big deal to have the battery plate on it and to be able to have a loop onto it. The Small HD, for instance, which I love for a monitor, it has the side finder, which makes it a really bulky solution. I used to have that, but I didn't like that solution. So for me, I just want something that I snap onto it, and it would preferably stick better than this, and it would be this small. This could be even lighter though. Somebody else will make that, I'm sure, in the future, but most people are going towards big monitors, and I don't like that. I want a tiny one that's compact, because it's a compact camera. And if you're going to be able to mount the screen in a good fashion to your camera, you're going to need one of these. You need like a fast quick system where you can position your monitor. This is one of those. It's mainly a part that comes from SmallRig. You mount this onto your camera, and then you can kind of loosen this to be able to position it that direction, and then you have this direction, and then I just have a NATO plate to be able to mount it onto there. This is pretty essential if you want to be able to maybe position it on the side of the camera. That's ideal if you, for instance, use it on an easy rig. But in order to use it on an easy rig, you also need a handle. And this handle here is from Wooden Camera. I wouldn't recommend buying that because it's a bit too expensive, but that just makes it really easy to mount this onto the side of the camera, and then you can have your monitor go up and down while it hangs on the easy rig. This is a really good solution. Having a handle is essential for bigger shoots, I think. I found the place where I'm gonna shoot my music video. Haven't started on the album yet, but I should pretty soon. I'm just kidding. But it's a pretty cool spot, right? See that? Graffiti in a place, on a wall. Doesn't get cooler than that. Haven't been to Ukraine before. This is my first time. this bridge, you get a lot of Kiev here. Now I'm only here for like 2 days, then I go back. But today is a day where we're gonna go out and look around and see what Kiev has to offer. I think we're going to some bars, secret bars. Whoa, that is pretty far. I found my bridge. That's where I had to kind of jump over to get here. I don't know if you could, but I had to go just beside the road for a while. I think they're demolishing it, so hopefully it doesn't break. Anyway, last thing that I think that you have to have if you want to be kitted with the pockets in my camera is a camera bag. Now, this is my new go-to bag. There's a lot of bags out there. I have a lot of bags as well. Everybody does, right? It's kind of a collector's item. But this bag is different. It's something that you can use when you have the pockets in my camera. It's a small, like, fanny pack. Luckily, they're back in trend. But it's also a backpack. This is a hunter's bag, so it doesn't cost that much. It is a Polish brand called... what's it called? Heliox? Something. I'll write it here or in the description. But this one, it fits this whole kit that I've showed you. So let me just break it down for you. This is the bag. Of course, the microphone. That's an essential thing, right? By the way, can you see behind me over there? There's like a couple making out, almost fucking. Just a bonus for you. So just kind of zoom in, I guess, if you want to see that type of stuff. Because it's not really allowed on YouTube. Batteries. So the camera, it fits in here. I have a small lens on it, so that's why. It's the Makinon vintage lens that I put on. This is just a setup. I also have an 8-in-1/2 cage. I think it works pretty well. I would maybe get a full cage because it's easier to balance, I think, on the Ronin. But this is how it mounts. Mounts onto this. Battery goes into here. You have a D-tap cable. That goes into there. Screen over there. So this would be like the light setup, just a handheld thing. Very simple, right? I have the tentacle sync here as well. Just velcro it on. Okay, so that's this setup. But then let's just show you what it looks like if we do it in the different way. There's a lot of glass here. I don't know what they're doing, but they've been throwing glass everywhere. Now I think the couple is coming, so maybe you can see them. They don't know what I'm doing, so they might ask. I don't know how famous vloggers are in Ukraine. So you put the handle on, like so. Handle is on. Put this one on. And put this down. Actually, I want it to the side. And now, the good thing is that we just put this on. Okay, got this on. D-tap cable goes in. Now we got a bit of a bigger setup. And then on top of this, I would just mount the microphone on top. Like so. Now you got a monster setup. Now this is better than like all other cameras, even the Alexa, because you actually have like proper sound, audio, everything in a small form factor. This is an amazing setup. Now this would be a heavy thing to be like just handholding or hand-holding. So that's where the Easy Rig comes in. It clamps onto this handle over here and you got that setup. So you can just do it modularly, but the good thing is that it actually fits in a freaking fanny pack. How good is that? And then on top of all this, you need to have like memory cards and all that. I have that stored here. Like I got everything, pretty much. I can fit like a whole shoot in this tiny bag, just because this camera is freaking tiny and it's just great quality as well. So I hope you like this video. This is just like what I use and how I shoot on this camera. I love it. So let me know what you think and I'll see you in the next one. I gotta go hang out because now probably other people that I'm here with, maybe they're walking up and I can eat some breakfast. So bye bye.